gentlemen. Welcome to episode 24 of the By the Riverside podcast. I am Chris.
And I'm Lee.
And we are not together again. Lee broke up with me. He's back at his house in his own country.
When you enter someone's abode, there are certain diseases that you pick up if you're not careful. Not corona, just other STDs and things. So you've just got to be careful, kids. Protection.
Yes. Otherwise, you'll end up like Lee and get the AIDS.
Wear a penis mask at all times. Is what I'm saying.
Penis masks are very, very important.
Kanye 2020. I had to. It just felt right.
Is it Coney 2020 now?
I've heard he's pulled out. That's a shame. of the race, I mean.
Kanye. I was going back to 2012 with Coney.
No, this is Kanye. Kanye.
Yeah, he's that was a lovely week of everyone saying what the fuck is going on again.
Now, there is something different about this week, possibly, if it doesn't turn out to be a complete shambles, is that we are recording this for video.
Which is probably not a good thing because let's just say I have a face for radio.
It's all right.
Not a voice for it, but I got a face for it.
I can blur you out like when you're a bad man on Current Affair.
And can you lower my voice?
Yes, robot it.
My voice not being very bad there. Oh. Anyway, let's kick it off. I believe it is time for... It's time for Lee's Threes.
Yeah. Lee's Threes this week.
And I kind of screwed that up because I'm like, it's time for... And then it's like, it's time for Lee's Threes. So it's double time.
There we go.
You've got to do it in double time, Lee.
Oh, well, that's quicker
Up
than
the
I normally
tempo.
do it. Lee's Threes, that is. So, let's get into it. Story one. Now, Chris, those that may not know you well, not only are you a hilarious comedian and a musician and a performer of Shakespeare, some of the greatest works of our time.
Yes, you should see my rendition of the 12th Night. It is a masterpiece.
I heard the 11th Night was better, but that's fine.
The 13th, actually, the sequel was even...
Lucky 13.
Yeah.
So, when you're not doing all that cool stuff, your daily grind is a developer.
Yes, I am a computer
Programmer. So, this is not the first time this has come out. But there was an IBM job ad that was put into online this week by IBM's Global Technology Services.
Which you would expect to be very up to date.
Well,
with technology.
You would, wouldn't you? Maybe.
You would expect, yes.
So they've put out a job ad calling for candidates with a minimum 12 plus years experience in Kubernetes administration and management. Have I said that right?
It's actually pronounced Kubernetes.
Kubernetes. All the programmer listeners just went, dang! Like that.
They speak good. Now, the funny thing with Kubernetes is that it's only 6 years old.
It's only 6 years old.
And they want 12 plus years experience with it.
Mm-hmm. Not the first time this has happened.
No, it's not the first time, but a couple of colleagues and I were discussing how you could possibly have had this experience. And we worked it out as you had to work 16 hours a day for 6 years.
Right.
To get that amount of experience, or you'd have to have two jobs, again working 16 hours a day, or one full-time job and two part-time jobs.
Well, there you go. Not impossible.
Not impossible, but it's still fucking dumb.
It's close enough. So I do remember this coming up with Swift. So Swift's been around for 4 years or so, and they wanted 6 years of experience in Swift.
Jesus.
So it's not the first time that that job, what are they called? Recruiters have put together a job ad without any fucking idea. So there you go.
Yes, well, that's
If you're interested,
there was actually another one which someone else posted was it was a job that required 4+ years of experience in fast API.
Yeah.
And this guy couldn't apply as he only had 1.5+ years experience in it
Right.
because he created it. So he couldn't get a job for something that he created.
That's good. That's very good. So there you go. So if you have managed to bend time, feel free to apply. Otherwise, story 2.
Two.
I feel sorry for pizza shop owners, because they're always, they're always cooking, working while we're having fun or watching footy or whatever. Anyway,
That's the sacrifice they chose to make when they opened a pizza shop.
exactly.
They bring joy to other people.
Exactly. So apparently in
Trust it.
Delaware, there was a robber that came to take some money off the pizza shop owner.
As robbers are wont to do.
That's their reputation. So anyway, this guy came in, tried to rob them. He apparently had a machete, and it was just outside of the store.
In the US is probably an odd choice of weapon to rob with.
I guess, yeah, it's tough times. You just sort of get whatever's close. Anyway, so he didn't get the money because he threw a pizza pie at him.
The robber threw a pizza pie at himself.
Owner. The owner of a pizza shop used his available resources to fend off a robbery attempt by a man with a machete outside his store in Delaware. He threw a pizza at him.
I think I saw that in Turtles cartoon episode.
Yeah. The owner told troopers that a man with a machete approached him demanding money. He said he told him he didn't have any and threw a pizza at him, causing the machete-wielding man to flee in a car. Maybe with the pizza, I don't know. If I got free pizza, that would probably keep me satisfied. That's all I need. Thank you.
Hey, maybe that's all he wanted. He just couldn't afford to pay the pizza. He just wanted a piece of pizza. Therefore, robbery is successful.
Maybe. Who knows? That's incredible. Anyway, final story. So we're heading into possible lockdown number 2 over here in Australia. So this is I wouldn't say a nice story, but I have to say Colombian cartels always get a bad rap.
Well, I mean, they do provide some of the best cocaine around,
and some of the best Netflix shows, really.
Well, without them, we wouldn't have had Narcos, would we?
No. Or what's that little friend one? What's that movie? Scarface.
Yeah, she's
Scarface. You wouldn't be able to say hello to your little friend without. Where was he from? I don't know.
I thought you were talking about my cat then.
All right.
I don't know where he was from. I've never actually seen the movie, so.
Well, does he ever come in with like some dusting on his top lip at all? Maybe check that.
My cat? Yes. My cat has a coke habit.
So, I'm digressing, believe it or not. But apparently, Colombian cartels are killing those who don't obey their COVID-19 lockdowns. So, hey, the cops can't do it. They're useless. They can't do anything.
That's what's coming for you, Victoria.
So drug cartels and rebel groups are imposing their own bloody coronavirus lockdowns across Colombia and killing those who do not obey, according to a new report by Human Rights Watch. At least 8 civilians have been murdered by the armed groups, some of them holdovers from Colombia's half-century civil war, which are using WhatsApp chats and pamphlets to warn citizens of the lockdowns in the rural areas where they operate.
I must say, it's probably a bit of a heavy-handed approach.
Hey.
Maybe a little excessive.
You can only be nice for so long. Okay?
Well, yeah, I mean...
And they're probably... You know what? The problem they're having... I think I know their problem. Is that before Corona, they could just use threats with violence and weapons to get people to do things. now that they've probably figured they're going to die anyway, it probably isn't does it have as much weight as it used to.
Well, maybe they just haven't, they've just missed killing because
Maybe.
everyone's in lockdown. So you can't kill people when they're locked down, can you?
I wonder if the drug trade has been affected.
Oh, well, of course it would be.
You got to feel for those the drug dealers.
I actually really wouldn't have a clue.
Anyway, so if you're in Colombia,
My drugs are a prescription.
if you're in Colombia, just do what you're told. Wear a mask. It's not worth it.
Yeah, please don't get yourself killed by a cartel.
Apparently, in South America, it's one of the worst places to be for corona. The first case of COVID-19 was confirmed on the 6th of March. Medical authorities have confirmed 160,000 cases with 5,600 deaths.
Wow.
With cases climbing by over 5,000 a day.
Well, Brazil is actually very bad at the moment because they have a Trump kind of president in charge. Basically, their president wants to be Trump.
Well, if you're going to pick a hero, you might as well pick the one that has the most room to become a hero. Well, he's got a lot of runway.
The one who likes to get his picture taken with cans of beans.
That's right. He's wearing a new mask now, I noticed. That's nice.
Yeah, he wore it once.
Yeah. They had the little presidential seal on it.
Yeah. But speaking of which, explaining Donald Trump to aliens.
Right.
Very difficult thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what else would be difficult to explain to aliens about Earth?
Okay. Now this is good because we did see a subreddit on this. And not a subreddit, a Reddit post on this.
Right off the bat. Money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How do you explain money to someone and the value of money and where money comes from?
I guess that's assuming they're advanced. But even if they're like more animal-like, I guess they wouldn't get it either.
Yes, but they mean that they may be so advanced that they have no need for money. They may actually look after each other rather than trying to screw each other.
It's a terrible idea. I just need to make a phone call. I'll be back. The first response was to tell them to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. That would confuse aliens.
That confuses me.
That's not a bad one. We carry a device with basically all the knowledge in the world and use it to kill time.
That's true. Well, I mean, honestly, who's to say they don't have the same thing?
That's right. They could be.
I mean, surely they would need entertainment.
Maybe they're wanting to invade Earth, but they're stuck playing Candy Crush. I just want to get past level 400, and then I'll be right onto it.
And then again, they've got access to the space internet.
That's true.
So imagine the amount of space pornography they're looking at.
That's true.
That we don't have access to yet.
And there's no atmosphere, so the bandwidth would be good. Wi-Fi would be good.
Exactly. We're missing out here, people. We're missing out on space porn because
Elon does know what he's doing, doesn't he?
I believe that is his whole driving force, is to get access to space porn.
Makes sense.
That's why Elon is trying to get the global internet and SpaceX going.
Makes sense. There are over 7,000 languages.
I don't know if that would be a difficult thing to explain to them, to be honest.
Maybe. I mean, wouldn't things...
we don't know anything about them. They might come from a planet that has more.
Do you think that if we all spoke the same language, there'd be less, not racism, but I guess just less prejudice around?
No, not at all.
I think there'd be more.
People are assholes.
Then you could hear the insults and understand what they were. Hold on.
There are certain people that will do anything they can to try and find something about someone that they can make fun of.
Someone put...
If that sentence made any sense.
Someone, as they enter orbit, very clearly seeing the Earth is round, it'll be hard to explain to them that some think the Earth is flat. Yep.
Yes. Yep. Yes. That's...
There's a couple of good ones in here. Someone put we lick each other's booty holes sometimes.
The butt stuff is a little taboo here. All those years of probing gone to waste.
Yeah. How we park in the driveway and then drive in the parkway. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Idioms could be difficult to explain. They may not understand idioms.
I don't know what they are either.
Because I know there are certain languages on Earth that don't have idioms.
That's true.
So, yeah, think about it.
I will. What about the Kardashians?
Oh God.
I guess we would send Kanye up there to explain it.
We'll just say, well, yeah. Well, President. Well, it's not going to be President Kanye anyway. At least Vice President Kanye.
He's going to be number one.
Why they shouldn't destroy Earth.
Yeah, that'd be a hard call. That'd be really hard one to explain.
Why they shouldn't destroy humans.
Well, it could be Thanos related, couldn't it?
Well, true. Again, they really haven't specified which aliens we're talking to.
That's true.
And there are a lot. Remember, we did on an episode quite a while back. We had a mention of a number of aliens.
We did.
Alien species. I can't remember the exact number, but it was above 2.
Like 36 or something.
That is more than 2.
Scientists work that shit out.
That is pure science right there.
What else we got? We'll do one more.
The Florida man. Who is this Florida man?
We need to explain it to us before we do it to the aliens. How eating a slightly undercooked bat killed 500,000 plus people.
Tentacle hentai.
Someone said religion. Yeah, I can see that.
That's a good one. That's actually
I guess it's. I mean, religion seemed to, while it causes so much fighting now, and it did in the past. At least in the past, it was like having 2 sports teams that you were going for. That were. It's like, well, mine's better than yours.
This week it's the Muslims versus the Christians. Who will win?
Now it's harder to kind of. It's like the extremists are fighting this war that no one's really interested in. So, okay.
But it's funny because the extremists on both sides are completely different in their extremism.
They are.
Like a lot of the Muslim extremists tend to be more of the suicide bombers kind of, whereas the Christian extremists tend to be more of the I'm not a mask and give everyone COVID kind of killers.
There was one story that I was tossing up whether to use it or not because it was a goodie. It was basically the here it is. Anti-mask crowd fills Utah County meeting on mask mandate exemption request. So they've held a town meeting about having exemptions for wearing masks, and all the anti-mask people filled up the meeting, and they had to reschedule it due to health concerns.
That's the funny thing is, how they're talking about reopening the schools in the US. They had a meeting online about reopening the schools because it was too dangerous to meet in person.
Yeah. I actually saw it. I saw this morning a Mike Pence quote about that. He was like, "What? I'm not going to rely on the CDC information on whether or not we should open schools." That was the quote. Or recommendations or something. The CDC I'm not going to rely on the CDC recommendations about whether we should open schools.
And why?
Because they don't agree with me.
Because they make us look bad.
Crazy
Here's one final one.
Yep.
I think we'll end with this
All
one. A difficult thing to explain to aliens: furry porn.
Not only aliens.
Exactly. It's hard to explain to people. So imagine how hard it would be to explain to aliens.
No,
Unless aliens were furries.
maybe it's not at all
What if
hard
the
to
aliens
explain.
actually look like the furries?
That's right. And they're going to go, yeah, well, of course.
And they're like, bring it, boy. Take me for a walk.
Wow. Well, that's about all we've got time for on that note.
I think that's all the time we should ever be allowed.
Thanks for listening to us over these shows, and we'll never hear from us again.
It's been a good run.
Has it though? Maybe.
No, it's been a run.
So, Chris, where can they find us?
They can find us on the internet at bytheriverside.net.
Right.
On Le Facebook at By the Riverside Podcast. Well, that's facebook.com/By the Riverside Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They can find me on Twitter at C Beg for Mercy. Not the C Beg for Mercy, just C Beg for Mercy.
You're making this very complicated.
I am a complicated being. I'm an enigma wrapped in a mystery, wrapped in a question mark.
I have to write all this down. Yes?
Facebook is and Instagram is the Chris Begg.
Right.
And what about yourself, Lee? Where can they find you?
Well, they can head over to my website, leestoker.com, or we can chat on Twitter at leestoker. And that's what we can do. Chat.
Yeah, and so I guess in that case, we shall see you next time.
Ta-ta.
Toodaloo. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Done.
Sweet.